Hello, I'm Poppy Helgren, and my father was Lester Moore. He lived from September 9th, 1928 till February 2nd, 2021. He was a survivor of the Great Depression. He was from Arkansas. The oldest of nine children, he joined the U.S. Navy at age 17 in 1946. After 5 years in the Navy during the Korean War, he began his life in California working for Lockheed Aircraft. He was determined to pull himself up by his bootstraps. He married my mother in 1952, and together they worked hard and amassed their fortune. They lived frugally, um, as typical Southerners from the Great Depression did. My dad's dream was to return to Arkansas one day and live on his cattle ranch that he had purchased in 1956 while he was still in his 20s. Twice a year, every year, he would go to Arkansas to work on the ranch with his brothers. He was a hard worker, employed by Flying Tiger Airline and later Federal Express when they acquired Flying Tigers in the late 1980s. In 1993, my parents had the Moore Family Trust established. I am their only child, and I am the successor trustee per their trust documents and their estate planning. My mother passed away in 2001. In 2009, my dad voiced his concerns to me that he was having a declining memory and asked for my assistance with writing up his bills. I immediately traveled to California from Nevada, where I live, to help him. My husband helped with his home and auto maintenance issues in California. I soon became aware that his lady friend, whom he had met at a local grief group, had been financially abusing him for many years. In fact, within 3 weeks of meeting him, she had a check from him for $700, and that was just the beginning. In January 2010, Dad's longtime medical doctors had written letters of incapacity for him due to his dementia. I then assumed the role of successor trustee. I was working towards having him move to Arkansas to live out his dream. I had no idea that his lady friend was busy undermining me and lying to my dad that I wanted to place him in a nursing home and I was stealing his money. Within 9 months of his being declared incompetent, there was an attorney who had my father, who was already declared incapacitated, sign papers to place the attorney as the successor trustee. The previous month, his attorney had transferred money out of many accounts. I sought out legal counsel for myself and was told by another attorney that I must pursue conservatorship over my father. That is how I ended up in probate court. I was railroaded into it by this attorney that was very much part of the Ventura County probate racket. For the next 18 months, the judge allowed the attorney that had taken over my dad's trust and the lady friend access to my dad's accounts. The financial elder abuse continued during this time. Also, many outside attorneys were assigned paid roles, such as receiver over accounts, by the judge. It was a feeding frenzy for all the attorneys involved. In May 2012, my dad was assigned a private fiduciary to be over the Moore Family Trust and to be his conservator. Keep in mind that my attorney had told me that the only solution to all of this was to pursue conservatorship over my father, even though there was a valid family trust. The probate judge ignored the trust documents completely. For the next decade, the fiduciary and the bevy of attorneys liquidated property and accounts and were billing ridiculous, extravagant amounts that were rubber stamped by the probate judge. Lester's cattle ranch was sold off in 2016 without an itemized accounting of all the property on the ranch or in the 4 homes in Arkansas. His home, also in Thousand Oaks, California, was sold in 2020, and he was placed in a group home who, whose medical negligence killed him in 2021. He was isolated from his entire family, never allowed to go again to Arkansas for that decade, even for his younger brother's funeral in 2016. I'm a registered nurse practitioner, and I was wanting him to be placed in the Nevada State Veterans Home where he was qualified to go. And I was the director, and I knew he would be respected as a veteran. This was denied by the conservator. The conservator refused for me to visit my dad the last 11 months of his life. He died of septic shock caused by a bowel obstruction caused by fecal impaction. The group home was found negligent for not administering his doctor ordered stool softeners for the last 6 months of his life. This was a deliberate and predatory conservatorship that destroyed my father's final years. It altered the outcome of my family's financial future. It stole generational wealth that my parents acquired and was meant for their family and put it into the predator's pockets. This is a racket that must be dismantled. Thank you.